ladies and gentlemen. So today I wanted to make a video talking about what I believe to be the problem with Marvel Strike Force at the moment, because the game, it's been out for a month. I've been playing since day one of beta. At its core, I love Marvel Strike Force. I think it's such a fantastic game. It's so much fun to play. It has so much complexity, depth, and team building to it. And it's a game that surprisingly has really hooked me in. I think it's absolutely fantastic. But at the same time, I think since the launch of this game, there has become a very big problem within the community and player base, and that is really the disparity between what beta players have and what launch players have. Since launch, instead of stuff becoming readily more available to help players catch up that haven't been playing for, the 4 and a bit months of beta, it's actually just become significantly more difficult to get a lot of stuff, and the last update made campaign difficulty significantly harder. It's more difficult to farm characters, but there is a long list of stuff. Now, I had the pleasure of going back to the Fox Next Studios in Los Angeles on my way back from Coachella on Tuesday, and I've voiced a lot of these concerns that we're going to be talking about in the video today, going into the specifics of stuff that I believe needs to be remedied, amended. I've passed that onto the community manager, who is going to be forwarding it onto the team. But I wanted to make a video just to let you guys know everything that I believe, needs to be kind of looked at from the developer point of view, and give you guys a bit of a perspective into what stuff was available in the beta, because yeah, I've just had so many comments being like, Seatin, your roster is absolutely insane, like how am I going to catch up? Certain characters like aren't available that were available in beta, and just a lot of people that didn't get the opportunity to kind of revel in those beta rewards just feel like so far behind, and that they're never going to be competitive, and stuff is just getting more and more difficult to farm, which I don't think is the approach that they should be taking. I feel like everybody should be allowed to catch up to the level of power, and tools and stuff should be in place, and events should be accessible to get people to a similar level of power that the beta players are now. And as somebody that's been playing day one in beta, like my roster is still like very incomplete. There's still a lot of offers to sell me and champions available for the future. So I believe, overall my stance is that helping everybody get up to the level that a lot of kind of top players are at now, and then going forward and advancing the game on from then, is the approach that Fox Next should be taking in regards to the development of Marvel Strike Force, instead of, making it significantly more difficult for newer players to grow their rosters, gear up, and just get more characters and ability upgrade materials in general, which I believe very much is the current state of the game in the moment. Like, it's just so much more difficult to progress for a newer player than it was in beta. So yeah, I just feel leaps and bounds ahead, and I feel like a lot of beta players are in a very similar situation. And you can see, if you look at Reddit, if you thought by the last week, that is very much the vibe. Like, a lot of people are just very frustrated and very annoyed at the game, that it's just getting increasingly harder and harder for newer players to come in to build up their rosters and kind of partake in the game and enjoy like everything it has to offer. Because like the raids in Marvel Strike Force, there are some good systems, they're a lot of fun. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let's go through the list. So I've got the first section, which is annoyances since the launch of the game. And the first one is the Rocket Raccoon event, very similar to kind of an Elektra Crossbones Thanos style event. In beta during the last month and a bit, Rocket Raccoon was available. You could very easily get him via there, and now the event has been disabled, so newer players, you can't get Rocket Raccoon, and also via the premium orbs as well. Rocket Raccoon, I don't believe, is available in those. So yeah, if you joined at launch, you currently don't have access to Rocket Raccoon, which is putting you quite a bit behind. And then at the same time, Quake as well has become significantly more difficult to farm. So she used to be in the raid orbs, like you could infinitely buy the raid orbs and like kit out your Quake and also Thor, but Quake was swapped around with Ronan, and Ronan at the moment is a terrible character. Like, he's not good. He's probably arguably the worst hero in the game at all, so the raid orbs have definitely taken enough as well. And alongside that, in terms of the raid milestones, like, you used to have Quake shards available that would ramp up, and now you just have these incredibly boring ones that every 10k you get some raid chips and some raid orb fragments. events. Like, there's no raid up, there's no excitement for pushing for further milestones. Like, these ones are just so bland and very, very boring. Simultaneously, we also have Black Widow. Black Widow used to be a character that was very easy to farm early on the game, and now she is not available anywhere outside of Arena and also the premium orbs as well. So if you're lucky, you can get Black Widow, but Black Widow, she's a very staple character. Like, she's one of the most powerful support characters, with her ability to, you know, guarantee that she's going to speed up all Shield minions and Avengers allies. Like, she's very, very crucial to those teams. So I really feel like Black Widow needs to be added in as an early farmable character, because the people playing for the first 4 months, like, you know, I farmed the crap out of Black Widow, almost have her as a 7-star character. But again, people that are joining the game now, you're barely, you know, you're going to be lucky to get her as a 2-star, 3-star character, unless you get lucky with the premium orbs, or, you know, get top 500 in one of the arenas. So yeah, Black Widow as well, like, definitely needs to become more available. We also have one of the events which was not everybody got in beta, but it was the Iron Man event as well. Need to have like a little bit of clarification on when that event is next going to be available, what are the requirements going to be for it. Again, Black Widow, the requirements for getting the 5-star Iron Man before were that you had 5, I believe it was Shield characters or Avengers at 5-star, and having Black Widow no longer early game farmable. Again, that makes it even harder to get Iron Man when he comes around. So yeah, really not a fan of that one, but I'd like to see the Iron Man event come soon, or, you know, made something that was static within the game, because again, Iron Man and Rocket Raccoon, they are two characters that are so powerful in the current state of the game. They are definitely, in my opinion, top 10, top 15 characters, and when you come to the level 50, level 60 raids, they make a really, really big difference, especially when it comes to the 60 ones, because both of them deal so much damage. They are like definitely top damage dealing champions for sure, and not having them, you know, you do feel significantly behind. And then we have stuff in regards to the milestones. Now, the milestone events have always been, always been the same, but I think in terms of my criticism on this one is that I think the gold one, the spend gold one, is absolutely fine, but when it comes to the train up characters one and spend orbs one, spend the power cores one, like, those ones are just way too much, man. They definitely need to be tuned down. I think, you know, if you really want people to whale out and spend money on these, then just introduce kind of a ranked reward system, and have like additional like ability materials, maybe for some of the top spenders in these events. But definitely you need to like cut down on the training modules one and the spending power cores, because that's just going to be another way for people to get, you know, even more premium orbs, like helps them get characters like Black Widow even faster and just more shards for more characters. So I really do think that one needs to be toned down a little bit as well. And the next one is upgrade materials. So we're talking mainly about kind of tier 3 ability resources here. Now, in terms of the rewards for the level 50 raid, the materials used to be just over like double. Like, they used to be significantly higher than they are now. Like, you used to get almost 100 for every single raid if you were placing in some of the top ranks, and now it's down to like 40, 45, 50. Like, in the beta alone, I managed to farm, I think it was about 3,000, 4,000 tier 3 ability materials. So in terms of, you know, my roster as a day 1 beta player, I am just like months and months, like half a year ahead of you know, what a lot of players now can achieve in terms of their ability upgrades, and I'm still like very, very far off having the amount of ability materials to like max out all of my characters at the moment, not to mention that every month there are going to be a ton of new characters coming in. So yeah, I believe, you know, personally, these really do need to be upgraded and reverted to what they were in beta, which I don't remember the exact numbers, but I believe it was like 125 scaling back. But yeah, it was significantly more than this. They've really been cut down. And for launch players, yeah, it's just such a pain in the ass, man. Such a pain in the ass. You're already playing at like a 4-month disadvantage in terms of gold and all the other resources. So yeah, to have those materials just be absolutely gimped on terms of the drop rates is something that, again, is just another thing that's putting launch players behind. So yeah, that's pretty damn annoying as well. Another piece of feedback that I provided was the login calendar doesn't need training modules. Like, you know, everybody, to the best of my knowledge, in regards to to, you know, what is the bottleneck? Training modules or gold? The bottleneck is gold. So yeah, the login calendar, my suggestion was to replace training modules with more ability upgrade materials, because yeah, definitely more of those need to be sent out for players. And then we also have in the raid and item store, specific materials are significantly more annoying to get because of no free refreshes. So one of the things that you could do in the beta of the game, which really helped me stock up on a lot of kind of high-tier ability materials, is you see the refresh button in the corner. You had, every time the store refreshed, every 8 hours, you had 2 free refreshes. So it was really, really easy to go through and find these specific materials you need. But now, without the ability to find those, stuff like phosphates, stuff like glyphs, they are much, much more annoying to get. So yeah, that is a massive pain in the ass for people that, you know, have just joined the game. They're looking to, well, not just join the game, but when you get into kind of that mid to end game and you're looking to get those specific pieces of epic gear, it can be very, very annoying to filter through and try and find exactly what you're after. So yeah, just again, another disadvantage that the launch players are playing at in comparison to some of the beta players as well. I also provided some feedback on the kind of the Blitz system as well. I was saying that the Iron Fist one, I like when they have the best arena that they've had, if you're aware from the start, I think it was the Yondu arena. I think the Yondu arena was really, really fair in terms of its ranking rewards. I think every featured character arena ideally should dish out like a good amount of shards to everybody that gets involved in it, but I felt like the 51 to 100% only giving 5 shards, I thought that was like super, super lame. Like, that's 5 Iron Fist shards, like that's absolutely terrible. I think even in the bottom like 50% bracket, I think the bare minimum for a character should be anywhere between 20 to 25 shards on offer, because yeah, 5 is just a little bit too little. So yeah, maybe like, I don't know, like 20 and then 30 and then 40 scaling up. But yeah, like just not 5, man. 5 is just way, way too low for that bottom 50% in terms of the Blitz mode there. So that was another piece of specific feedback I had, and aside from that, like, you know, they've done some good stuff, man. They're definitely kind of moving forward in terms of the content, and I liked that they made Thanos like a free-to-play, like available character you can just get and by doing the Thanos raids. I think that was a really, really cool move there. But overall, you know, my just biggest piece of feedback is just there is this huge, huge roster gap between like somebody in my scenario that's been playing hardcore since day 1 of beta and somebody that's been playing hardcore since day 1 of launch. And there needs to be more done to bring players that have been playing at launch up to a similar level to the players of beta, so that they can feel viable, competitive, because the real endgame in Marvel Strike Force is getting those players really hooked into the endgame and retaining them and getting ready for all of the future contents and updates, and making everything just significantly harder and significantly more of a challenge and just a ball ache. It's not really a challenge, it's just an annoyance. I just feel like there have just been so many little changes and tweaks that have just really, really made this game a struggle, a grind fest, something that is just annoying when you look at what, you know, people had in beta by comparison. And if you think that people aren't, you know, looking at my videos and seeing what I've got and at other beta players on the subreddit, then you're wrong about that. Like, people are getting really, really pissed off. And as more people get to level cap, like level 60, this is going to be something that the community is feeling more and more. Like, the divide is going to become even more apparent between both groups of players. So more needs to be done to help people that played at launch catch up to the level that people have been playing at beta for, and have that 4 months advantage of gaining significantly more rewards for the stuff that they were doing within those 4 months. So yeah, I like Marvel Strike Force. I think this game has a lot of potential for the future, but they need to get a handle on this. They need to address this issue well, and they need to give more ways for launch players to catch up to the level that beta players are on at the moment. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you think in the comments below. But apart from that, thank you very much for watching. Take care, and I hope that you have an absolutely fantastic day.